Does becoming who we are truly, what if becoming who we're truly meant to be really isn't financially practical, is what you're asking, right?
Yeah, what if I wanted to go on a mountain somewhere and just become who I was? I eventually would, I guess, starve or freeze, but I mean, you know, how do you integrate this in your everyday life? Sort of being in the now, being the essence of who you are,
Yeah.
without suffering in the long run. Without, you know, the squirrel would suffer. The squirrel would die if it didn't put away nuts for the future. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd seen a question that you'd sent earlier, Nick, where you said it's all fine and dandy to read about becoming who you truly are and being who you were meant to be, but how do we do that and still pay all of our bills?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. However, the question, the first few words of your question already contained an error. And it's easy, if an error keeps into a question, then it's hard to answer it truly. The error was, you said we have to worry about paying our bills and all kinds of things. Is that true? No. You have to pay your bills, but you don't have to worry about paying your bills. And the squirrel has to put away the nuts, but the squirrel is not worried about the nuts. Only humans are worried about their nuts. So,
Yeah.
so you can, being present with what you do does not mean that you neglect your daily affairs and so on. It means you deal with them in a different and, in fact, more powerful and more effective way. You give up the worrying part. You still pay your bills, but you let go of the worrying about paying your bills. In that way, you learn from the squirrel how to live.
Because worrying is your choice. You see that, don't you, Nick? No, worrying is your choice.
At times when I don't worry, I've had moments in my life where I didn't worry. I just kind of let the waves of the world roll over me. And I kind of did nothing about situations and hoped that they would work out themselves. And they didn't. I mean, you know, worrying did help me in the past to actually get things together and get my life on track. I guess for me in my life, to be in the essence, to be with my spiritual self, it's not enough. I have to really be actively worried about the actual day-to-day business of surviving.
Well,
you know, which most people have to do, you know.
I would still argue with that. It is true that you need to take action. It is not true that you need to worry in order to be able to take action. So you can actually experiment with, in your daily life, start with little situations. Let's say there's a pile of bills that you have to pay. How do you approach these bills? Are you going to worry the night before or on the day? Or am I going to be able to pay? You just take one bill after another, you look at it, you face it. Okay, do I have the money in my bank account or not? If you don't have the money in my bank account, I have to do something to make more money. What is possible? What can I do now? Put that aside. Look, this action I can take. Pick up the phone, make a phone call. Do the present, effective, powerful, but no worry. If you then you'll see your whole life will become not only more effective and more powerful, but also much easier. It flows with greater ease. Nothing in nature is worried. All the animals do what they have to do, but they don't worry about it. They are active. Everything is active in nature. The trees are active, the grass, the flowers, everything is active and putting out energy. It's only the humans that worry about it and think they need worry in order to survive in this world. You don't need worry, you need action, but not worry.
That's an interesting point. If you've ever been on safari or seen animals on a hunt or actually seen a kill, you know, they go out in search of, and everybody, I'm sure, watched the Planet, or you watched the Planet Earth series, right, Nick, where you see the animals?
No.
Oh,
no,
Nick,
but
you got
you know what?
Earth.
What he was saying, I'm sorry.
Nick, you got to get the Planet Earth. And you get to see all these animals hunting other animals, and it just made me think of what you're saying. As the animal's hunting the other animal, it's just doing it. It's not worrying, I hope I find a rabbit today. I hope I find a rabbit today. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. You want to continue? Yeah.
That reminds me of the lily in the valley. That it doesn't worry about clothing itself in the Bible. It just does. It just exists. It worries not, or the sparrow or the crow does not worry how it's going to get its next meal. It just does.
Yes.
And that reminds me of that right there.
Yes.
But I'm thinking. I guess I'm thinking of those hippies in India that still haven't come back. they're just broke and they took all their idealism there.
Nick is saying, well, that's